Three, two, one, blast off. Tomorrow is the day, my friends. If you've been following along this series about how I'm building my brand new subscription, I'm finally ready to open the doors to ADHD-ish tomorrow. I am so excited because this has been a vision for a little while, actually not that long, and taken a lot of courage and a lot of focus to pull this off in the short amount of time that I have. Now, you might be thinking, hey, Lisa, you're not brand new to business. Why is launching a subscription such a bold move? Well, that's a great question because I have done it all. I have been in business for 15 years. I have done everything from summits to challenges to webinars to workshops, courses, high ticket programs, and you name it. So I've pretty much done almost everything in the online game. I've even actually hosted in-person events many years ago. So I have done it all, but it's all still been a gradual move and something that felt very safe to me along the way. I first became a life coach many years ago. Then I started shifting more towards helping businesses. That led me to becoming a business strategist and getting better tools to help businesses actually work out how they can grow specifically. I got better at copywriting and positioning. I started getting more excited about all kinds of business models and helping a ton of business owners, whether they had in-person businesses or online businesses, do all the things they needed to do. And then I actually decided to narrow more towards memberships, right? So memberships, subscriptions, kind of similar, except for the fact that I've launched this subscription in an entirely new industry. So that has essentially caused me to build and launch a brand new brand. We're talking all the things. So not only is it completely new content to the things I've been doing with my current membership brand, it has also forced me in a good way, maybe more nudged me to really take a look at where it should be hosted. How do I make it really simple? How do I feel like it's really pulling upon my expertise, that it's making it more unique and interesting? And it has really allowed me to have some fun doing something with a brand new clean slate. That's had its anxiety as well. I'm not going to lie, because every time you do something new, you're completely unproven and you quite honestly don't have an audience for it. So I've had to consider all the things of doing this. And reflecting back, I'm really happy with the choices I made. So, first of all, this little idea of helping people who are ADHD-ish, meaning they may not be diagnosed. They may just know that they have some neurodivergent tendencies that have caused a lot of challenge in their life of doing what it feels like other people can do, regular people, whoever that may be. I'm not even sure that exists, can do things a lot more easily with a lot less overwhelm and stress and roller coasters of emotions. When I learned about that category being broader than I thought, I knew for sure that I fit within it. And then it also made my whole life make sense to me because I spent decades focusing on how to find peace and happiness and total fulfillment. And I did that more than I did almost anything else for about the first 20 years of my adult life. So I had gathered all these practices, skills, and a whole bunch of tools that I now use without even knowing I'm using them to create a life for myself that feels like I can balance the desire for more and the craving I have for change and challenge with the complete overwhelm I also feel when any of that plays out. And sometimes the difficulty in dealing with sensitive situations and getting feedback that I don't like. So I've really had to have this balancing between what I want and what I fear. And it's been a lifetime of learning to figure out how to build up a life around me that feels like I'm not holding back and I'm also handling it really well so that I'm a better person for the people around me as well as just showing up for myself. So because I was so focused on that more than anything, and more than a career advancement, more than raising a family, because I was late to do that because I was so busy figuring myself out, I ended up doing a lot of personal development work in very, very different ways. So trying it all, so to speak. And I now have, again, all these tools that every time I mention them to somebody of how I think about something or how I approach something, they look at me a little bit like, oh, that's interesting. And then I realize that now that more and more people are realizing that they can put some effort into figuring out who they are, what they want, and how to do it in a way that really is sustainable and enjoyable for them. I want to share that with the world. And I really wanted to do it in the form of a subscription for a few different reasons. So I could have gone out and just done a podcast, and sure, that would have built a really big audience, perhaps, because that is a very searchable kind of thing, and talked about stuff and shared my journey. But I have done a lot of podcasting in the past, and I wanted to do something that wasn't just about learning and understanding. I wanted to help people take action because that's my very favorite thing. And I felt like a subscription gives people the opportunity to say, look, I've got some skin in the game and I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to actually try the minimal amount of work that each tool will ask people to do each month to see if it works for me and to see if I, by the end of that month or by the end of a few months, feel better off because I've understood more about myself and learned some really healthy ways of doing things that also allow me to live that more fulfilling life and pursue what I really want. And that was the whole purpose of it. So a subscription felt like a way that I could be a little bit bossy and say, okay, people, I'd really like you to try this. And here's why. Without a ton of pressure, without people feeling like they have to do it, because at $9 a month, it's not going to be something that you have to do every single one, although I'm really going to encourage people to try it on, see how it feels, reflect on whether or not they're already doing it. And if they don't like it, they can ditch it. And if they do like it, maybe it's something they incorporate into their regular lifestyle on an ongoing basis. And by the end of many months of working on this, everyone will have increased their self-awareness, self-acceptance, and have taken really valuable actions towards what they want, which is super exciting for me and rewarding for me. And it's kind of the way I really want to show up. So doing this in a way that gives everyone access to it in a really economical way without it being so expensive that everyone will feel like they have to use every minute of it means that I can just get it out to more and more people. And if it really is impactful and powerful, then it does also reward me in the end by making up for the time that it's taken me to invest in all of this work, including my entire life leading up to sharing the tools, which was a lot of work and time spent. So that could be a really great win-win. And that's how I recommend to do a subscription. It's got to be something that's so simple for you to do, but it's also not simple for everyone else to do. They don't know how to prioritize what to focus on because there's so much out there. So you're disseminating information for them by giving them a guide on what to focus on in this area, which is very different than free content, which means that people have to make the decision of what advice to follow, what advice to toss out. And it can also mean that we're just taking in tons and tons and tons of info and not actually doing anything about it. And I do see a lot of that analysis paralysis in people around me in my life. And that is one of the things that I want to help people overcome inside ADHD-ish. So on that note, it's also going to change up my marketing strategy a little bit. I'm going to be focusing more on posting on Instagram and connecting to a broader audience there because I think it's a great platform for connecting through ideas in short form content. And I find YouTube more focused on how-tos, and it has been on my membership business, and I'm not going to switch that over right away. So you can come on over and find me at Lisa Princic on Instagram, or head on over to ADHDish.com and come check out the toolbox that I've created for you that will provide a new tool every single month in your inbox. and help you take steps towards your own fulfillment in bite-sized, doable chunks so that you feel like you can do it, you take action, and learn more about yourself in the process. So I'd be honored if you joined and provided me some feedback on it. I definitely want to reach as many people as possible. That's what it's all about for me, is just helping more and more people make some sense of the madness, mostly probably in our heads, and get out there and live the best life you can. So thanks for being with me on the journey. Next week, I'm going to share with you how to get paid in 2025, and a subscription is definitely on that list. Have a great holiday season, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.